Here's what I'm going to do, and then we're going to start practicing before we go out and execute. We're going to practice right now. We're going to perform after lunch. Okay? Remember, perform, not hope. Okay? Okay, come this way so I can kind of see you guys. Traditional photo is the photo where every grandma and uncle and aunt have. It's very important that you do the good, clean, traditional stuff before you try to get crazy and creative with shadows and all that. After all, it is somebody's wedding, right? So there's lots of really good ways to ruin a perfectly good traditional photo. Go ahead and, do you have a suit jacket? Yeah. Can you put it on for me for a second? There's a reason for that. This is, yeah, I'll explain. You're taller than me right now. That's not cool. And I'm usually tall. Go ahead and put your arm underneath, between, like, hold his arm. Yep. Okay, this happens all the time in traditional pose. The guy's wearing his suit jacket, the bride usually holds his arm, right? What's wrong with this, Pepe? Look at the hands.
The degree angles, his hands are just kind of laying there like.
Look at the colors.
Oh, the black. It's a backdrop.
Did you say? Oh, there you go.
Yeah, the contrast.
You gave the hands a perfectly good backdrop for creepy hands. Right?
Yeah.
Now you have hands in a black background. The worst possible choice you can ever do. Now, you can do a piece of the hand. You don't have to put the whole hand. Does that make sense? You want to show where the hand comes from, at least from a bit of a few inches of the wrist or the hand. So, Mallory, can you come up real quick and adjust the hands? You don't have to worry about it. Just move the hands so the pose looks nice. In fact, adjust the whole pose.
The whole pose?
Yeah, including their feet. They're not standing right.
Okay, if you guys could hold hands, let's try that. And then
That's good.
put your hand down for a second.
That's good. I mean, her flowers could be in that hand, right?
Yeah, her flowers could be there. Maybe you're like kind of holding it like by your hip here with a little bit. Oh yeah, that looks good. If you could put your hand in your pocket, it's kind of giving her something, except that's kind of.
Actually, that's very good.
I know, but she's more, they're both kind of straight on, so
That's
it
good,
seems
so switch
kind of,
it. Remember, that's part of the 777 to not have the color one.
Yeah, so will you put your weight on your left foot and pop your hip back and then kind of angle in towards him, your collarbones. And kind of like nestle up a little bit to him.
Good, you're magnetizing the heads together.
Yeah.
Okay, good job.
magnetize them.
Let me do something real quick. This is a good example of the next topic, is holding hands. When you hold hands, you don't want to make it look like she's a hostage in a very, very negative and violent situation in Costa Rica, okay? You see what I'm saying? So the rule of thumb about holding hands is if you can push the groom or the bride, a gentle push, that hands should be able to come apart. Now, if I push them now, this is like gridlock. This is like you're stuck forever. You see what I mean? So if you do hold, let go of the, you can interlock, it's okay. Stop right there. Just relax now, soften the hands, relax and breathe. Separate us a little bit, your body. What you want is to pull apart, and it should just come apart, okay? See how that looks kind of like you're not really trying anything, it just looks natural? But a lot of times, when I see photos at photo competitions and the bride and groom are walking, they're like they are locked in, baby. You see what I'm saying? Or I see them like, and it's like, you can see the freaking veins popping out of the hands. You see what I'm saying? And I'm just like, ah! It's such a beautiful, like, they're doing a good job with the walk, but then it's like, right there. You see what I mean? So be careful with the hands. Make sure that they just pop out if you push, okay? There's about 100 ways of doing this photo. As long as you keep those 21 items straight, you should be good, okay? The collarbones are a little bit too straight on. I would definitely turn the groom a little bit. That way you can have that 3-point check, which is part of 777 again, remember that? The collarbones go this way, chin goes this way, eye goes that way, okay? All right, go ahead and drop this pose. Okay, the next one is him behind her. So Pepe, come on up, my friend. So you're gonna pose this, him behind her.
So him behind her?
Yeah.
Okay.
By the way, you saw me doing that in the Indian wedding. Remember that? Where he was holding her by the grass and stuff like that?
Can we replay that picture? No, I'm kidding.
Copy me.
Okay. So, all right. So just stand behind her, and you're gonna wrap your arms around her. Okay. And let's see. Can you step a little bit more towards the right?
Ooh, good job.
And,
you know why he did that, right? To keep the ratios apart.
Okay,
Oh my gosh, Pepe, high five, man.
Okay. I have trouble with that, with the
You have
fingers.
the finger
whole
game. It's called the
thing.
finger game.
So,
How many fingers do we have?
okay. Let's see. Let me step back. Okay. Go ahead and put one hand right here. And
90-degree angles.
yeah. Let's see. Can you put one? No, that's not. Okay. Let's see.
You got finger game going
The
on.
finger game. I know. That's what I'm trying to avoid. The whole finger game.
Put her just,
see.
look, Pepe. You're gonna have this problem when you're home, so I'm gonna
Okay.
help you.
Okay.
Don't worry about solving the whole issue.
Okay.
Ask yourself a couple of questions. What is the problem with the hands? Answer, you have finger game problem,
Yeah.
which means all the hands are together.
Okay.
Solution, change at least one of the hands.
Okay.
So just move one of the hands. Try it.
Okay.
Why not grab
her-
this?
Okay.
You do it.
Okay. Can you touch his? there you
Oh,
go, like that.
smack, perfect.
Okay. Touch his skin, and can you tilt? Turn your head a little bit this way. There you go.
Oh my gosh,
you're
I'm
gonna
dying
be
right now.
you're
This
gonna
is
be
so
looking
good.
at the at that basket
So
right
good.
there. Okay. And you're gonna be looking at the. Let's see your eyes. At this cup.
Pepe, you're on fire right now, my
Okay.
friend.
So.
Oh, you're on fire. You're good, man. You're good. Pepe. Pepe. You know what? To be honest, that's the greatest joy for me to feel. To feel like you just rocked that pose, and it's a difficult pose, man. You just totally rocked it. You followed directions, you clear your head of all this stress, and you executed.
Oh, thank you.
I'm so happy right now.
Thank you.
This
Oh,
makes
me too.
everything worth
Trust
it,
me,
so
me
thank
too.
you. Isn't it? Yeah, it's great. Good
It's
job,
so hard,
man.
It's so hard to do in front of everybody. It is hard. It adds that
You
extra
know what?
element of
It's-
difficulty.
It is hard, and I really admire you guys for doing it. And also, the reason why I may sound like a broken record repeating the same 777 is because I need you to remember it. Okay? I've been teaching for 15 years. Repetition is the key to memory. So, good job.
Thank you.
Her behind him. Her behind him. David, come up, my friend.
Matt, could you come forward a bit? Can I have you just stand like this?
Can you speak? Can you speak nice and loud so we can hear you? I know everyone online can hear you, but
All right.
I want to hear what you're saying.
I just want you to shift your weight to one leg. All right. Can you put your hand through here, further through? I like that hand there, right? And just bring your face forward. Can you have your hand in that pocket? And can you put that hand on top of hers? Slide your hand in further. And then grab her wrist, just gently touch her wrist. Slide your hand down a little bit more, no, this hand. So it's pointing downwards. Yeah, like that. And I'd like you to look at your ring. And I'd like you to look over at the switch on the wall.
Can I stop you for a second?
Okay,
You did something really good
right.
that I totally noticed, that I don't know if it was an accident or not, but when you had her move her hand down towards this position,
Yeah,
you actually let the hand drop to its natural position,
right.
which makes the photo look flawless. If you would have said the opposite, like put the hand up, now you're forcing this position. This is not a natural position.
Right.
But when you said drop it, it was like music to my ears, man. Because I saw that hand and I thought it's a little bit constrained,
Right.
contrived. And then 2 seconds later, you're like, drop that hand. So, continue.
So your hand is just hanging loosely, but I'd like you to like kind of caress across his chest like that. And then could you close up these fingers? Yeah, nice. I think I'm done here.
Okay, we have a bit of a problem.
Okay,
That this is taking energy for her
Right.
to strain her hands.
okay,
Remove all points of energy that
Fine.
don't need to be there.
Okay.
The only energy that should be there should be on the spinal cord to keep your posture straight.
right,
So loosen up your hand,
okay,
okay? Just keep it so there's no moments of tension, no spots of tension,
Okay.
okay? Now, where would you, actually, no, that's good. Thank you so much. I'm gonna pick on, let's see, Juliana, maybe Juliana, come on. Good job, David, man. No, stay in that position. Sorry. It's okay. From what angle and what crop would you use to create 3 variations of this pose?
3. Great.
Sorry.
It's okay. At the same pose, not moving them.
You can move a little bit. You can move things, but keep her behind him. And you're not just going to do 1 pose. You have to do 3. However, you can change the photo by just changing your angle. So don't make things complicated that they don't have to be. Just change the
Right.
angle. Okay.
I'll go one right here with
Okay.
her looking at me.
Let me look at this real quick. Okay. Well, tell me about the crop you would use.
I'll probably go like here.
Okay. Is this working for you?
No.
Because the shoulder's too high?
Yeah.
Okay, fix it.
So probably like here a little bit. No? Maybe here. Is that good or bad?
It's good. Depending on the angle, and you can see a little bit of where the hand comes from.
Right.
This is a variation of the pose.
So that counts as 2, right?
Yes. One more.
One more.
This one has to be radically different,
Okay.
but she has to stay behind him. Look at her
I'll
body, by the way. She's way too far from him.
Get together. Okay. Let's move the hair out. Could you please touch your chin to his chin a little bit?
I would move that left hand to try to do a variation on that. Change
That
left
completely
hand.
different?
Yeah, just move that left hand out of there.
Oh, yeah. Didn't
We
I
did
tell
that
you?
already.
Move the hand out of
Yeah.
there. Forget about the hand. You can put your hand on his shoulder, on his chest a bit. A little relaxed.
Ooh, nice.
Maybe your pants in your pocket.
Ooh, you're creating the gaps on the
I'll fix
what do you call
this.
this? Like the waist.
Now, let's think about the face
And the crop.
and the crop.
And
Sure.
the angle.
Close your eyes. No, just her. And you look down to his watch. And then you do the breathing
Breathe in, breathe
while
in.
I'm having the camera
Yeah,
on.
breathe in. And you make him react.
Right. And now think
Tell her to smell that skin.
smell his skin,
Say that skin is funnier.
that skin.
Yes.
Smell that
Yeah,
skin
say
and
get a
think
load
of
that
strawberry
skin.
pie.
Get a real good load of that skin. And then just start to laugh.
Get a really good load of that skin.
Yeah.
And then I'll crop right
You see how
here.
it works? It's so funny.
Crop right here.
Get a good load of that skin. Oh, Juliana, that was funny.
Good?
Excellent.
Okay, thank you.
How are you feeling?
I'm loving it.
I feel like you're totally like in your like detail-oriented stuff. I'm
Yeah.
so happy right now. You guys are really, really showing improvement, and it's only been 1 day and a half, almost. But I think through the repetition, through the constant drilling, through the photo shoot last night, you know you're not going to take a photo after this where your subjects are not the brightest. You know you're going to look around the whole frame to make sure that there's not distracting bright spots in the background. You're not going to do that anymore. You know you have tools like diffuser, reflector, video lights, or external wireless flashes, or reflector, or whatever, to give it a little kiss of your expertise. And you know you're not going to accept the light just what it is because that's the easiest thing to do. So I feel like everybody here is just really starting to come up, and I feel really good about it. Let's continue. Nikki, come on up. This is going to be tough,
Awesome.
but who cares?
Right.
This is kiss anticipation.
Okay.
They don't kiss at all. I'm sorry, man. You're like, damn it! You're like, what did I sign up for? You know, this is why I signed up for this. You're like, ooh, wedding workshop? They're not going to kiss. And kiss anticipation is that moment before they kiss. Have you seen the movie The Notebook? Yes. You know that poster where they're just all in the rain and then they're like an inch from each other and it's just all like dirty and romantic? You know this, right? Mm-hmm. You don't know this from fiction? It's like the Notebook movie cover. That's anticipation of kiss. One of the most romantic poses you can do is to not do the cliche kiss, but let the audience want them to kiss, but don't give it to them. So it's like, you want it, but you can't have it. You see what I'm saying? So remember 777 stuff.
Okay.
To get the arms, the legs, and the face and all of that. I'm gonna add another element of challenge for you. Can I get my ice light, or is there an ice light somewhere?
Here, come in the middle.
Okay, just give me my ice light. Go ahead and start the pose.
Okay. So we're gonna have you facing each other, but not all the way. So you're gonna bring
It's
this
not in
shoulder
there.
just a little bit this way.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're gonna put this hand just sort of gently at the bottom of his chin. And then your head is gonna be pointed. I promise I won't make you kiss.
Okay.
So-
Don't want a boyfriend fight.
It's
See, man,
my
you're a good
fault
man.
to the boyfriend. Okay. Okay. So we'll have. You're gonna. Is it okay if I touch your head?
Right.
Okay. So we're gonna tilt you just a little bit this way. Right. Okay. This hand is gonna go here. You can make sure you have your weight on one foot. Okay. Okay, so hands are good.
Let me see the hands.
Noses. Okay, so I need to angle your heads a little bit. Yes, like that.
Yes, you can move my head.
Thank you. Okay, so we have the X Factor, no creepy hands.
Oh, I love it. Music to my ears. Keep going.
Okay, so you're gonna look at her shoulder like it is the sexiest shoulder you've ever seen. Mm-hmm. Okay, and you're just gonna, Kitia, you're gonna look at his sparkling beard. And then, but don't look away from that. And then, actually, why don't you look down a little bit further, yeah. And then you're gonna tilt your chin up just a tiny bit. Okay, what else? I'm trying to think what else.
Let me look at the pose.
Can I look at my list? Hands are at different levels.
I'm going to show you something kind of interesting. To create contrast, usually the guy dominates, right? To create contrasts, which is it's a social contrast, we'll have her dominate.
Okay,
So-
so switch heads.
So she's going to control his head while she's an inch away from his lips. So she's in control of that. It's going to make it look really like what you don't expect. And it's
Okay.
going to really bring that extra tension that works, you know?
Okay, so we're gonna switch your heads this way. And then, well, if she's gonna control.
No, the other way. Switch the heads back to where they were.
Okay.
And now work on the chins. Remember, the lips are too far apart right now. They're not even anticipation of kiss right now.
Okay. I guess I'm just trying to be respectful too of them.
Don't worry
not
about being
being
respectful at all
Okay.
whatsoever.
Okay, so you're gonna really kind of take his
Nikki's
face
so
a little
nice.
bit more, but don't cover too much of it. And then we're gonna make your fingers not super aggressive, but a little bit
Good job.
curled.
Good job.
So that it
looks like you're about to pull him in.
To
like
be more
that.
aggressive, put both of her hands in his cheeks.
Okay, that's a good idea.
Does that make sense?
But I was
So
trying
both.
not to mirror both hands, is why I didn't do that at the
Just
beginning.
one hand higher than the other.
Okay. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so we want to see where this hand is coming from, right there,
Good
and
job.
bring this up a little bit
Higher,
more.
that's it. Good job. Now you lift,
Yeah.
you lift up his face a little bit, and you turn your face towards his lips, an inch and a half, 2 inches away. And you have her close her eyes, right?
Right.
It would be really creepy if she was looking at him. Right? Can you imagine? It's like,
So they would both close their eyes then. Yeah.
yeah, he can, to make it, give it that extra sexy oomph, you can have him look at her lips, even though it's hard, because he's anticipating the kiss, and she can have her eyes closed because she's about to feel the kiss.
Right. Okay.
Okay? And of course, don't forget to have him breathe in, so to get that whole sense of romance coming in. So let's finish the job.
Okay.
I'm gonna do this for you. I'm gonna give you a little challenge, okay?
Okay.
The light is coming from here, and you want to keep the pose. How do you do subject emphasis to keep this, to work with the light in this position?
I would probably ask them to turn like a lazy Susan.
Amen. Perfect. That's
Like
right.
this?
Just keep rotating like a lazy Susan.
Hopefully they'll know what a lazy Susan is. Yeah, so
Tell
then
him to
the
look at her
lights-
lips and see if he can find a zit.
Yeah.
And then you take the picture right there. See it?
Right.
You see what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Yes.
So
for sure.
that embarrassing moment was, oh,
Does she have one? No, I'm kidding.
see, but it's funny, and it makes people
Yeah.
react. But remember, only do that with the camera on hand.
Right.
Okay?
Okay.
So the light is here, and by the way, you did exactly what you were supposed to do, is turn them like a lazy Susan. Don't destroy all the work you did
Yeah.
because the light's here, okay? Now, are you featuring him or are you featuring her?
Right now it's him
Right, so keep going.
because we want to feature her. So we're going to keep.
Kind of like both, really. You want to see his face looking at her, so put them back where they were. Now it's both,
There we go. Okay.
okay? Now, where are you shooting from?
Well, I need a step stool, and then I would probably
Okay,
shoot
that's-
from here.
Okay, now next question. How much would you crop? What would you include in the frame?
The relevance is the actual kiss part. So
Of
I
course.
would just
So
do.
forget the rest.
Right.
Oh gosh, I'm so happy right now. Thank you. Good job, Nikki.
Thank you.
Roberto, can I just say that NW in the chat room said this should be a party game for photographers?
This should be a what?
A party game for
It should be a
photographers?
party. Ooh, that's a good idea.
Isn't it? That's a really good idea. I love it.
What's the problem? How do you solve it?
Good one, Natalie.
That was good. I'm going harder on you guys, and I think you're handling it just fine now. Okay? You said something that I want to say back to repeat it. Repetition is the key to memory. The moment we were creating was happening here. It was that love anticipation, that kiss that the audience wants to see, but you're not going to let them. So why would you show the knees? Why would you show the whole castle? It drives me nuts when I see a really great photo, and then it's like, and then the whole building's in the background. I'm like, why did you just do that? Like, crop it to the little tiny little part where that little moment really was happening, and keep it there. So just be selective in what you're showing in the frame, okay? I think one of the big problems we all have is to let the beauty of the location manipulate us. And you don't let anything manipulate you. Not the fountain, not the plane in the back. You can use parts of the plane in the back to do something cool, but it has to come together with the moment that you're creating. You know, sometimes I see I've seen photos with like a crop plane in the background, and the plane is just flying, and then the girls just sitting there posing like this, and there's a random plane flying in the background. What is the point of the plane? And why is she standing like this? What is she doing? If you have a girl just standing, is she saying, look at me, I am beautiful, this is my day? Then show it on the photograph. Give it that confidence to her. Don't give her that diva look with the whole wrist, like the arms like this. Give her maybe she can pick up her dress, lean her body forward, look up and smile at you. So you connect emotionally. You know, the problem is we focus too much on a physical connection, like I am good looking, look at me. And there's no heart. You know, there's just no soul in that photo. So let's see, who have I not picked on yet? Fran, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Fran, come on up. Let's make this really hard for you.
Thank you.
Let's do, oh, this is gonna be tough.
Be nice.
You know, by not being nice, you guys are really improving.
I know.
You're gonna do, yeah, I'm gonna make it actually a little tougher. I'm gonna do foreground, background.
Oh, come
You're gonna tell me who you're focusing on,
on. Okay.
and you're gonna create 3 variations of it. And I'm gonna give you a light source at the end. So,
Okay.
start. 3 photos. Tell me where you're cropping. Tell me where you are, who you're focusing on. But it's gonna be foreground, background, playing with the foreground and the background.
Okay. All right. Well, I was thinking of like as if they're walking. Would that be all right? Okay.
Exactly,
So
there's
step
one.
up, step forward. You
Well, one
stay
has to
right
walk in front of the
Yeah.
exactly.
So you stay right here. I get you to tilt this way a wee bit, and then you'll kind of be holding a hand. So you guys hold hands. Put your hand in your pocket,
Oh my gosh, it's looking so good right now, friend.
and you'll have flowers. So I guess you can just put your hand like just a wee bit.
Stop, stop, stop. Look at her body movement. Look how perfect it is.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
gorgeous.
And I like that she's got the little arch thing going.
And she's got the little thing like, oh, it's fun or whatever. It's
Can you
springtime, okay?
Yeah, can you straighten your back up for me? I have a question for you. You know when her shoulders go in, would that be considered slouching?
No.
No, it's not,
When
right?
this is
'Cause
kind of
it's-
more, it's like a model-y pose, right? When
Yeah,
you
because
slouch.
her spine's straight, right?
Yeah,
So
it's
it's
confidence.
okay to do
yeah.
that.
This is slouching, is when you
Yeah.
go like
from-
that.
So
right.
rather than pivoting, got it. And so you look back at her, and she'll be giving you like a, sorry, I'll get you your chin down just a wee bit, your head this way slightly. So turn, I'm going to touch your face, excuse me. There we go. And your eyes, just, can you see him? Or should I get you to move this way a bit more? Yeah, that's better. And kind of that way. So you'll be like giving him like a cute little grin.
Oh, you should
yeah,
have taken the
she's-
picture right
yeah.
there. Just go bam for the photo, okay?
So she'll be the focus in that.
Here's the thing,
And-
make it
yes.
easy, right? You have this, is perfect. I could not have done it better, okay? Now to get a second variation, turn his head opposing what she's doing. So her nose is pointing in this direction. You see
Yeah.
the little invisible line in her nose? It's pointing this way. So point his nose opposite of that. So turn the opposite and then turn your head in this direction, my friend. Right
yeah.
there, okay?
That
And then
looks awesome.
take the picture. So he's completely out of focus.
Yeah.
You're focusing on her. She could be looking at him and laughing and smiling. The photo will look really
She
great.
looks really cute, yeah.
She looks great.
He's very
Okay.
handsome too.
You see why I had him now? Let's do what I told you not to do. Her nose line is right here, right?
Yeah.
Let's keep it parallel, which
Yeah.
looks cheesy like cheddar cheese, but sharper. Put your nose in this direction. Okay. You just took away kind of dynamic. It looks a little bit too contrived, a little bit. Not much.
Right.
This whole parallel nose thing works. It looks even cheesier when they're together and they're looking into the same direction type of thing.
Right, right.
Unless you execute that right. I'm not saying by any means that's a bad photo. I'm saying it's taken away from that romantic feel, that natural, candid expression. That's not natural. It's not natural, right?
Right, right. Thank you.
Another one you can do, turn his face and have him look at the pattern in the ground and have her look this way because now his nose is here and now her nose is opposite.
Right,
Okay?
right, yeah.
And then you take another photo. And now you have 3 funny photos, except one of them you focus on her,
Yeah.
the other one you focus on him, and the third you focus back on her. And in the album it's like boom, boom, boom.
Sweet.
That makes sense?
Yeah, it does.
Good job.
Thanks, man. How you doing?
Are you guys feeling pretty good? I'm feeling really good for you right now.
The internet is feeling really good too.
Are they?
And again, like saying that, I just got a personal message from Bonnie, who was here in our last workshop last week, and she was saying that how valuable it is to see you guys because they would, if she was here or everybody else would be going through the same thing. So good work, you guys. The energy in the room is.
This is really good. That's so
good.
much fun.
Yeah.
It's great. I feel like it's really some serious progress going on. Let me explain T-bone pose. This one here, the T-pose. I think I have a photo of it that I'll explain it through that. Maybe, let's see, T-bone, let's see, Jessica and Travis. Who has a T-bone pose? Well, before I do that, let me show you this photo real quick. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Because of time, I'm just going to go for it myself. But this is an example of how what I'm teaching has nothing to do with weddings. It has everything to do with just posing human beings. Okay? She's wearing a white dress. Let's consider that a non-wedding dress. She could have been wearing a brown dress and now it's a fashion shoot. She could have had a little piece and sunglasses and now it's a fashion shoot. But the pose wouldn't have changed at all. Okay? But when I saw this, the first thing I noticed is the contrast of light and the seamless single color in the background. Does that make sense? So when you see this in your own weddings next time, contrast of light, one single color in the background. Those are the two things I wanted to shine. I want them to come out in the photo. I cropped everything else out. That's what I wanted to show. I curved her back. Do you see the curve in the back? So that 777 little quote was to keep the elbows slightly bent and to keep the lower back slightly bent. If she would have not done that, she would have looked like this. It would have forced her to kind of slouch, and it wouldn't have made her look as skinny or as sexy. See what I'm saying? Take a look at her eyes being locked. Is she the brightest? Definitely. Is she the biggest? Is there anything bigger than her there? No, there's nothing else to compare it to. There's just a wall. And is she in focus? Because the rest is out of focus. Now, do you see the cool negative space? How she's looking in the short side of the photo, not into the photo? That's the element that creates that extra little tension that makes people be like, oh man, I feel like it feels cool to them, but they don't know why. See what I mean? Let's see, the T-bone pose that I want to explain. Is this Photoshop 6.0 or something? I don't even recognize this one. Let me see if I have it here. What kind of pose is this? Interpretive. I'm showing a piece of the bride and the whole groom. Is the story still told? Absolutely. Like you feel the love in the air, even though you just see a piece of her arm.
Especially because he's looking at her.
Exactly. You know, and look at his expression in his eyes. It's like so dead on. What if he was looking up with his eyes rolled to the wrong side? This is why you have to control the eyes. You have to pose the eyes, okay? Okay, this is T-bone pose. Her, basically the collarbones of one of them. Can I borrow you for a second?
Yeah.
Come this way. Right there. Come this way. Right there. Step in the middle. Right there. These collarbones are making a T with hers. Does that make sense? Can you rotate like a lazy Susan to show them? Okay. Now, this is the skeleton of it. Actually, that's not the skeleton. That's the skeleton of it. Can you stand straight, totally straight? Just look like monkeys, nothing. That's the skeleton of the pose. Then you start to form the pose using those 21 items. You start to do things like this. Okay, you have the bone structure. Now put the meat on it. Okay? You start shifting the body weight. Go ahead. Fix the arms. Does that make sense? Why did I just do that? I went from this to this. Why?
Her hands were being mirrored. You don't want to mirror.
Not only that, it was starting to play the finger game. Right? The angle is good. It's not 90 degrees, and you're not emphasizing his belly. Does that make sense? Turn towards her.
Would that consider creepy?
Look at the shoulder. And you can just photograph this way, put your hand in your pocket, and keep it right there. And that's a T-bone pose. Remember, guys, when we go do the photo shoot after lunch, please don't show the whole body unless you really want to feature the whole body. Does that make sense? If you want to show the whole outfit, then go ahead. If you're trying to create really artistic photographs, you're going to have to learn how to crop selectively. Okay? You can focus on him and have her go out with an 85 1.2 or the 7200 at 2.8. You can wrap around, come this way and have her look straight at you, just like she is, and focus on her. When she, bring your chin down a bit more. That's better. Okay, to not compete. She's the one that's dominant in this photo, right? So if his chin is up, it's like he's dominant too. So by putting his chin down, it puts him in a more vulnerable position. Watch, bring your chin up, Matt. Now who's the dominant one? It's like you don't even know, right? All right, thank you. Let's go ask questions, and then I think we only have a couple minutes before we go on break, so.
We have so many great questions. Let's see. Let's start with, where should we start?
I'll go one.
Kenna.
From Sharon Ronnie, you did show us a group photo, and she's asking, do you ever have people talk to each other when doing group posing, or do you just get them to lock their eyes and ignite an expression?
The second one.
Okay.
Because talking photos, like, it doesn't work. So, yeah, I don't want them talking, I want them laughing and interacting. So by having them look at a specific person in the group and then saying something silly, even though it makes you feel really stupid, like we all are gonna feel in about 30 minutes, you're gonna ignite an expression and you're gonna snap the picture that looks like that. See what I mean? So.
Cool. Okay, I'm going to ask you two questions that are related. Fran Zixo asked, when you have a bride or a couple that disagree with everything you ask them to do or pose, would you eventually say, okay, just do whatever you want and I'll just snap? And then the second question is from Robert Lugtu from San Francisco, who says, can Roberto give an example of a difficult time he had with clients and posing and how he worked with them to work through the difficulties to still get the shots? Say if a client was not comfortable doing poses either for an extended period of time or wanted to move from posing to a different approach.
Nice. Everybody has a problem with clients sometimes, time to time. I'm sure you do. I'm sure you have. I am no different. I may be, to my clients, I'm a really good photographer, but that's about as far as it goes. To a lot of them, I'm their friend a little bit, like we become friends, but the higher up you go in their income level, it seems like, not always, but it seems like there's like a disconnect. And that disconnect is that gives you the trouble when they're not being cooperative. One thing I do is, if people try to tell you what to do, which happens all the time, I'm always respectful of my clients first. I don't scream at them. I don't do anything that's going to make them not think that I'm being respectful to them. I put the respect I have for them before I put my photography. See what I mean? If they don't want to be photographed, then I'll tell them, look, give me 5 minutes. Can we handle 5 minutes? And I'll just do some pretty simple poses. We can take a few shots and move on. I don't pose you anymore. Is that a good deal? And then they're like, 5 minutes, I can do 5 minutes. And if you do what we did today, 5 minutes could give you 40 poses. You did 3 variations of that foreground background just by having him move his chin down, left, right, and focusing on different people. That's 3. Juliana did a bunch of stuff with changing the angle. And I mean, Nikki, I changed the light on her. 5 minutes is like an eternity. You'll be like, by the time 3 minutes pass, you're like, you're ready for a Coke. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, I find difficult clients all the time. Usually the people that hire me are people who relate with my personality and the people who connect with my work. My work may be great for some, but not great for others. Some people may not connect with my work. Some photographers out there listening think this is the worst photo they've ever seen, and that's okay. This is why photography is great. Everyone can have their own flavor. See what I mean? Okay. What was the other question? I think that was one.
I think you.
I covered it?
I think you pretty much covered it. I think the question was, have you had a specific situation where you were really challenged with the posing situation, or a couple that didn't want to pose, and what did you do? So I think you pretty much answered it.
3 weeks ago, I had a wedding with the groom was like really, I hate to say this because kind of snobby, okay? Just snobby guy. And I showed up and I was just like, I need to go ahead and take your portraits now. And he was just like, he went like that with his nose. He's like, I don't want model shots. Can we just not do any model shots? I was like, they're more groom shots. And it's your portraits for her. I put her involved. I involved the bride. I said, I'm pretty sure, I can't say her name because whatever, but I'm pretty sure she'll really like to have a few photos of you on your wedding day. And he was like, okay.
Good point.
Don't act like you're in charge with them because, you're just, as much as I feel like you have to be kind of modest at your weddings, Like, I'm always modest at my jobs. Like, I'm here confident teaching, and I'm very confident in my jobs, but not to the point where I may at any point disrespect them. I'm very modest, and I keep myself very humble the whole time, but I try to kick their butts of what they expect from me. I just work really hard to blow their minds out of the water. When they see their wedding photos, it's just like, oh, what the hell did just happen? And I was just like, that's what I like to do, And then they scream to all their friends, and then you wonder why the economy doesn't affect some people.